Well, it sounds like I'm narrating. So, welcome to Friday, December 8th. This is our playtest. Lots of fun changes this week, and we'll do the usual gig of going into the neighborhood, playing around, getting some lumber, making a build. Biggest thing to notice here this week is we've got the new healer, the new male healer model in the game, and so I think she's going to make one. Are you going to make one, Irina? Oh, I think it's happening. This is exciting. Ha! Ahoy, Gentry. Welcome aboard, Captain. Alrighty, so one of the things that we've done is we've switched over from Unity 2021 to Unity 2022. So now, when you're loading into the game and even seeing models for the first time, you're going to see some shader loading messages, which is pretty normal for this stage of game development. We have, of course, not spent a whole lot of time optimizing anything or preloading shaders. And this build is we're playing right out of the editor. If we make a standalone build, which we do for other demos, and we will be providing standalone builds eventually for players who are interested, like y'all, hopefully. You won't see that shader message. But this is a nice upgrade for us because before we would just freeze and not know why we were frozen, and now we see a shader loading message. So it looks like Irina's in the neighborhood, and she's jumping and waving. See, stuff works. If you look at hotkey number 8 there, we've got a new ability on the ability bar, and it is teleport to nearest beacon. And it's like you might have seen in other games like a Hearthstone. It's only usable out of combat. It doesn't take you back to your home neighborhood, but like if you are adventuring around in Adventureland or we have another common test area, and you go far away, it'll give you a quick teleport back. So Irina's going to, of course, chop down a tree. She's really going to want to build a house or a campfire as soon as possible so she can get that rested bonus that you get from being rested. And that will give her a nice move buff and a movement speed buff, and of course will allow her to regenerate health and mana as long as she has that rested bonus. So it's important to do that. Jason Brazzi asks, when will you build a luxury log cabin with underground grotto? We have the log cabins. I don't know if they're luxury yet, but underground is kind of a stretch goal at the moment. Definitely something we want to do.
Jason, I snuck into your channel, by the way.
Nice. So Cham is in our channel now here too. And I don't hear him on the Twitch stream, but I'm not monitoring the Twitch stream. I'm just talking because Twitch can hear me, but not Irina for some reason.
Okay.
I hear you too, Cham.
All right. Well, I was just letting you know that we discovered a fun little bug with constructions now. If you're all standing near each other, you might get someone else's build pop up. So if you see that happen, that's what's going on. And we think it's related. We think it's related to a new feature that went in that makes it pretty much go straight to the animation as opposed to having to do extra clicks and stuff. So it's sending everyone a note.
Yeah.
It's sending everyone a nice little note saying, hey, someone in your vicinity just build something. So feel free to click it away and have fun.
Nice. Irina is building in her neighborhood, and we have not seen that yet. Yeah, so what Cham was just saying was that we added a new ability. Well, not ability, but we added a nice to have quality of life improvement. Uh-oh. So I lost the video on the stream, and that might be my connection to Twitch from my laptop. So I don't know if folks are hearing me or not.
I can hear you on the Twitch. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I'm still connected to Discord, but not Twitch. So I'm going to reload the player.
Okay.
Oh, fun. Okay, yeah, I was on Twitch the whole time. Just I didn't see it.
Hello, Twitch people.
We got a question from Chanel, which is a question about Auto Party. What will be available to avoid grief?
Ooh. You know what? I think we might want to invite Chris in to answer that particular question.
Yeah, nice. You want to bounce to the other channel and grab him?
I'll bounce and I'll come right back.
Thank you, Jam.
No problem.
So I'll get back to narrating a little bit here. Irina or Jason is building a campfire now, and the campfire also gives a rested bonus. Um, it looks like Irina might need to be a little closer to the house to get the other resting bonus, because there's actually two bonuses, and they will stack on top of each other. Hey, Chris Earhead, everybody, welcome to the channel.
Thanks.
It sounds like you are live on the Discord and Twitch streams. And we had a question from Chanel. She had a question about Auto Party, which is what will be available to avoid griefing.
So I think one of the things you want you to be able to do is to mark a player as, I don't want to play with this player again. You should always have the capability to say there are some players who are on my blacklist, never group me with them again, never send them onto a world shard that I'm on again. And when you run into those people, you're going to want to just leave the wilderness shard you're in and go to a new one, which you can freely do in our game. And then we'll never match you with them again.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just the best way to deal with it. Just you never see them again.
Yeah, totally. K Whirl says, I'm not a big fan of PvP. Sometimes I participate in structured battlegrounds. I wonder if you plan on including any form of PvP.
PvP
And
is... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm also not a big fan of PvP, even though I really do enjoy games that are structured entirely around PvP. So, give me Call of Duty all day for PvP, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the MMO or even just multiplayer fantasy kind of game, PvP. But anyway, go ahead, Chris.
The biggest focus in our game is on building relationships and communities. And so having PvP be a focal point of the game is just counterproductive to that. We want you, every time you run into a new player, a person you haven't met before, to be happy you ran into them, because it unlocked new opportunities and cool new things you got to do. And if every time you run into new players, you're worried about them fighting you or learning your secrets they can use against you in the next battle you fight, that's just counterproductive for what we want. So we have no plans early on to have any kind of PvP. I can imagine a world where we do something that some people call realm versus realm type PvP, where you might have like villages battle against each other in some kind of a competition, but it's never going to be a big focus of our game. We actually have one crazy idea we talked about at one point, which is like, what if you could challenge another village with your village because you have some, want to prove something or some contest between them. But we actually make that into a big festival and carnival, and it's all about the big competition and everybody preparing for it and the events in the carnival that happens at it, and not so much about the fight. Yeah, the fight happens, but it's all the other cool stuff that happens around it that we like.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing that stuff as well.
And again, that's an idea. That's far in the future, but it's a cool idea.
Yep. Alrighty, so I am playing a gym character, which is what we use to test a bunch of visual effects. And sadly, I made it so that I don't have the wave ability. So if I'm not waving back, it's not because I'm being rude. It's because I forgot to put that on my hotbar. So I'll jump instead.
I'm wandering around testing out our new resources we put in the game. Last week, our tracking wasn't working, so they're hard to find, but now tracking's working. So I'm looking around to make sure they all work so I can do all the new crafting recipes. Still running into a problem with one of the resources is missing, and I have to figure out why, but that's how game dev goes. There's bugs, and you fix them, and you keep on going, and you keep iterating.
Absolutely. I actually think I just noticed a bug here. I noticed Chris, I think you're in Adventureland right in front of me, and we are not partied, and I don't get why.
I don't see you. I have a character named Chris Mage, and I do not see
Yeah,
you.
you're Chris Mage. Huh. Well, that's fun.
Can you see me jumping?
Nope. I am jumping too.
I don't see you at all.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is I've got on each side of me there's a campfire, and I'm right by the teleport beacon back to the home.
That's not where I am. It must be somebody else. Who do you see there?
Somebody named Chris Mage.
Ha! They've stolen what?
I don't think that's possible.
I'm going back to the beacon right now. Actually, I'm going to teleport back to the beacon because I've got this new teleport home spell that Martin built for us, and it's great.
And
I
I
am
want to
now back
apologize to everybody on
There
the
you are.
stream because I'm talking about what I'm seeing on my screen, but of course the stream is watching Irina, and so that's fun.
Jason, you see me now moving around you?
I do.
But before I was standing here doing nothing?
Yeah, I'll grab a screenshot of what I'm seeing and I'll show you later.
I'm walking away now. Do you see me
Wait,
walk away?
don't run away too far.
Okay.
Then you'll be out of my screenshot.
But the weird part is that before you saw me and I wasn't actually here.
Not only that, you're still there.
Mm.
I got 2 Chris mages on my screen right now.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting glitch that we have never seen before.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
the Matrix, folks.
So I'm going to teleport back to the home instance and then come back to Adventureland. Oops. And of course I did that classic thing of going to the home instance or the common instance instead of the Adventureland. I keep doing that.
Into the old place.
Alrighty. So Irina is currently playing with fire on the stream. She's playing around with our building system, and she's removing some parts and pieces of the builds. I think that might cause some problems, but we haven't really kind of narrowed that down yet. Fun with game dev, folks. Yeah, so I've got. Sorry, of course. I'm here in Adventureland, and it looks like Irina can see me on the screen. I'm the one in the green with the big axe in her hand, and what I'm seeing is a copy of the Chris Mage character with a white name right next to the beacon, and Irina is not seeing that on the stream, so that's fun. We're gonna have to figure out what that is later. We do need a tank. I can hop off and make a tank really quick, I think. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I really need to retune these creatures. They're all too easy, so I don't feel like I need a tank. I must fix this. Actually, the wolves have less health than the shadow creatures, which is wrong. Don't know where that happened.
Nice to see that the healer mage male or the healer male is super popular. We've got 3 of them on the stream right now.
Cool. How do you feel about the mini map size? Is it big enough?
I feel so strongly about the mini map that I'm going to remove it for next playtest.
You want to remove it, but then the tracking's gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually going to throw it on a hotkey so that we can play around with playing without it, and then you can always turn it back on. But to answer your real question, I think I don't like having the mini map up all the time. I'd like to make a much bigger screen that we can bring up, with a hotkey.
Interesting. I think from a resource collection point of view, having that tracking is really, really useful. So maybe we want everybody to try resource collection before we give up on it.
Yep. That's why we're going to put it on a hotkey. All right. I made a tank. I'm going to head out to Adventureland and try and catch up with everybody else on the stream. And I've got me and my little tiny hammer. I'm going to follow a sylph, and hopefully it's a good trail. It was a good trail. Yay. All right, so now we've got 3 healers and 3 tanks. That's funny. Totally forgot to buff myself. That's fun. Irina's going to switch to her usual mage role, looks like, which is awesome. Yeah, so Chanel just mentioned in the stream, semi-transparent minimap can be very useful. I'm not saying minimaps aren't useful. My biggest concern with them is that you start to play the map and not the world.
Hey, War, you're just in there getting the crap kicked out of you.
Yeah, it's because I'm multitasking.
I really, really am enjoying the auto party. This is very cool.
I am too. The biggest thing we're going to do for next week's playtest, and now, of course, I'm making promises that I'm not gonna do personally, is we're going to make it so that the distance basically you're not going to leave the party unless you use a beacon to go somewhere else. So right now people are leaving and joining the parties way too often.
Right.
When somebody wanders away, you kind of want to know where they are to find them. And if they leave your party, they're really hard to find again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't say, "Hey, where'd you go?" because they're not in the party anymore. That's a
Yep.
mistake.
Right.
Chanel's also sad about the big McMansions not being around anymore. I think we'll bring those back at some point.
Did we take them out, Chris?
I didn't take them out. They just happen less frequently.
And they're probably closer to the edge, right?
I mean, I just changed the frequency so we get more resource nodes and less houses.
That makes sense.
We can add them back in as necessary. But good observation. I like that.
Our fans are paying attention to us. I love it.
Chris, are there less NPCs in the world?
I think there's actually about a similar number of NPCs, because what I did was I increased the resource density. Used to be, what was it, 700 is what you had, and I currently have it set to 4,000. But what I did was I made most of those be resource nodes and very few of them be houses. And the resource nodes have 0 or 1 creature next to them, and the houses still have like the 2 or 3, 2 to 4.
Okay.
Irina's asking for help with her house, so I've gone back to see if she's in my village, and she is, so I'm helping.
My goal was to have a similar number of creatures, but a lot more resource nodes. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I like the idea of having nodes that don't have necessarily a creature guarding them.
Well, there's also wandering creatures that'll jump you while you're trying to get it anyway, right? So it's fine.
Yeah. But there's little patches where it's like pretty highly populated. That's fun.
Now that the house is built, I should be hopping into Discord and hitting the air horn button because we is out of time, folks.
You know, I did miss, the server crashes. Let's just call it out. We fixed that. Nice job.
Well, we can put some more crashes in the game for you, Cham, if you want.
We always
No, but this is running like butter. Absolute butter.
All right, I'm calling it. Hey, so to everybody on Twitch and Discord, thank you so much for joining us this week. I also really appreciate your patience with our technical difficulties. I personally have an errand I got to run, and man, I hope you can't hear my gardeners working outside because they're kind of loud to me. Anyway, thanks again, everyone.